Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode, the fifth episode of the 8670 build. In this episode, we cover subcritical thermal cycling or subcritical annealing, as well as getting into the full hardening. Now, in the subcritical thermal cycling, this is your last kind of opportunity to try to do any straightening or adjustments to the blade before we get to fully hardening. So now I'm going to go back in and do my subcritical annealing. I'm not worried about the tank or anything now. I'm mostly just worried about the blades. I'm actually gonna take this off. Just kind of restricting the oxygen that was getting in so it burned at a softer flame, help bring the temperature of the forge down. So now, I'm just gonna focus on the blade. I don't care about the tank getting hot or anything. I just want to bring it up to that dull red temperature. So again, it's just like earlier when I was trying to bring the blade up to temperature for quenching or for my thermal cycles. I'm just going to keep bobbing it in and out. Just let it come up slowly. When I say slowly, I mean it comes up pretty surprisingly quick. You see that excess oil burning off. So now the tip is giving that dull color that I'm looking for. It's great. What I'm going to do, like I was doing before, while that tip is perfect, that's exactly what I want, the rest of the blade is not. So I'm going to let the tip come down to black, and then I'm going to go back down. While the tip is losing its heat, the thicker portions of the steel, the blade, are retaining their heat. So more and more, every time I bob in and out, more and more of the blade will take on that color. Again, the tip looks great. The rest of the blade is definitely hot. I don't want to touch it. But it's not hot enough yet. I'm just going to keep bobbing it in and out and bringing the rest of the blade up to that dull red temperature. I notice that I'm rotating the blades just from habit. I'm used to doing this with larger knives. And if you let it just sit on hold it in the same orientation the whole time, eventually, because of the heat, it will start drooping. You don't want to do that, so you do it one side, you flip it over to the other side, go back and forth. Just kind of like you're roasting a marshmallow in a way. A big metal marshmallow. So, I just do it out of habit. It's not a bad habit to have. It doesn't really matter for a small knife like this, but again, it's kind of a good habit to have, or to be in. Alright, now you can see more of the blade. Getting down to about 2/3 of the cutting edge. It's taking on that color. Squat down like this so I can see into the forge easily. It's kind of awkward. But it is what it is. Also, part of the reason of turning it, it exposes, like I have one burner, right? It kind of allows the blade, each side of the blade, to get exposed to the live flame edge. So it hits the top and it curls around the forge. So right now it's the spine side, and then I'll turn it around and it's the cutting edge side. And then just kind of bob it back and forth. Keep bringing that up to 10. That's looking really great. 2/3 of the blade is up to a nice temperature for me. It's on the verge of getting too hot though, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to let the thinner cross sections, the thinner portions of the blade cool down, while the rest of the thicker stuff kind of is cooling down a little bit too, but it's retaining more of its heat. This is just kind of a waiting game, kind of a patience game. So you can see now, it's all kind of coming up to an even temperature. It's nice. Once I get it up there, I kind of want to I want to let it kind of hover for a few cycles. So I'll usually pull it out like I'm doing right now. I'll let the tip come down, temperature, and then I'll go back in. And I'll usually do that, I don't know, a few cycles. It's more about time. I want to do it for at least 5 minutes. So if I do like 7 cycles, nice 5 to 10 minute range. each time I do this, bring it up a good even temperature again. It takes at least a minute to do that, a couple minutes probably. Alright, so again, it's all coming to a nice temperature. I like where it's at. The tips area is starting to get a little too hot though. So again, we'll let it cool back down. The thicker area down here is holding that heat better, while the tip along the cutting edge is losing heat. We'll put it back in. So now this is like the third or fourth time, right? We'll just keep doing this until we've done it, like I said, about 7 times. I like the number 7. So we'll just do it 7 times. Every once in a while, you might want to stop and cool down your tongs. There's a lot of heat that transfers into your tongs. I always keep a bucket of water nearby so I can quench my tongs really quickly. If I let it sit on the top of the forge like that, on the top of the bricks are super hot. It's not losing a ton of heat. Alright. Starting to come up a little too hot, or a little hotter than the rest of everything, so we'll let it cool down again. Also, this is a great opportunity to kind of check where things are at. I'm seeing a little bit of a curve, so I'm actually going to start making a couple just very gentle adjustments. I'm using my light ball peen hammer, I'm putting it on wood. I'm just going to give it some taps to try to tune things up a little bit. And everything else that just isn't coming up to temperature like you'd like, you can actually open up, especially if you got a backside open or that's covered with bricks. I can open up the bricks on the backside. That will give the tip somewhere to peek through and keep the tip from getting over too hot. Keep the tip cooler of the blade so that I can allow that thicker area. I'm trying to bring up the temp. This area up here, up here. So keep the tip cool, and this area will get more heat exposure, which will help speed up this process. Again though, on a short knife like this, I'm not too overly concerned about opening up the back of the bricks, but if this was like even a 6-inch knife or a 5-inch knife, I would probably open up the back of the bricks to give the tip of the knife somewhere to kind of peek out at, so that it's not getting overheated. Alright, so that's looking nice for that round. It is forged really close to shape though, or final dimension, especially along the edge. And if there's too much wiggle or wobble to it, the edge is going to be doing that also. So I want it to be as true and as straight as possible, so that not only do I have a straight cutting edge, but when I go to sharpening, it's a lot less of a pain. So I'm going to say, as long as everything comes out nice and straight, I'm going to call this the last heat cycle. Put it back in there. Just bob it until it all comes up to a nice temperature. Last time, everything's looking great. Very happy with that. itself, I'm going to let this cool all the way down to room temperature. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to quench it. I'm not going to do anything to speed it up. I want it to come down slowly. So I'm just going to put it on there. I'm going to turn off the forge. Go eat some dinner, and I'm going to come back for the final hardening. This is our blade. So we've gone through 3 thermal cycles. On the third one, we did a full hardening on this and let it come down to room temperature, and then we put it back into the forge to do a subcritical anneal, and then we let that come down to room temperature again, and now we're going to go back and we're going to do a final hardening on this. It's going to be just like the thermal cycles we did before, except for we're going to do a hardening, and then that's it. And then, well, not it. Then we're going to temper it, but that's something different. So let's get into there. Okay, so to assure that we get a nice even heat across the entire blade, I'm going to start by putting the tang in first, just like we did in our thermal cycles. So here we go. And then I'm going to, once that has come up to temperature, I'm going to flip it around and we're going to put the blade in. So I'm going to check it really quick to see how that tang's looking. I like that color quite a bit. So I'm going to turn it around. So as you can see, there's a nice even color in the tang, but it's still kind of dark in the blade. So what we're going to do is now start bobbing the blade in and out of the kiln to bring that blade up to temperature. You can see the tip's just a little hotter than the rest of the blade. And basically my goal right now is to get rid of that shadow. I want that shadow to go away, and I want the entire blade to be the same consistent heat. Keep bobbing it in and out until that shadow's gone. Pull it out just after a second so that the edge and the tip don't get too hot. It's starting to get there, very close. It's starting to look pretty good. Alright, so we'll maybe do just a couple more just to make sure that it's nice and even. Kind of slightly slower. Dips into the flames. Nice, I like that. Alright, here we go. Unexciting, which is exactly what we want. We want to sit it, or let it cool down and quench in there for probably the next, 10 seconds. Just to make sure it comes down completely in temperature. By this point, it should be good. Let's see if we can flip on the lights a little bit. So I can touch the blade. So I'm actually going to flip this around and quench the backside, quench the tang, because it's still a little hot. I don't necessarily want to touch it, but yep, I'm going to call that good. So after quenching it, it's all covered in oil, so I took it into the kitchen and washed that oil off. Right now the steel is super hard. It's probably hovering around 60, 62 Rockwell, which is incredibly hard. But it's also, the steel is under a lot of stress when it's at that high hardness. So now what I want to do is put it back into heat, but much lower temperatures than what we've been working with. I'm going to put it in at about 400 degrees into my little toaster oven here at my house, and we're going to let it do its thing for a couple hours, 2 cycles at 2 hours each, to help relieve this stress and temper back some of that martensite that we've just created in this steel. So after doing our temper, I'm going to pull it back out. We're going to put it through a phosphoric acid bath. We'll probably do that overnight, and we're going to let it kind of eat off that scale, and then we're going to get back in here and sharpen it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there's anything that you found useful, I would love a thumbs up. And then also, as always, ask questions down in the comments, and we would love your subscribe to help us reach more people. Thank you so much.